What if the reason you feel different is because you are? What if your anxiety or sensitivity or sense that you don't quite belong here isn't dysfunction, but remembrance? Today's guest, Amy Sikarskie of Spirit and Soul Healing, talks about channeling the Council of Light, activating soul codes, clearing ancestral imprints, and why discernment matters more than belief. We explore chakra healing, starseed identity, physical channeling, and how to tell the difference between intuition and imagination. If you've ever wondered whether there's more to your story than this lifetime, this conversation might just resonate with you. Welcome to New Reality Awakening, where seekers become finders and stories become transformations. Each week we open the doorway to a new vibration, sharing wisdom, healing, and awakening from the visionaries of the New Reality TV platform. We are New Reality Awakening. Hey there, welcome to New Reality Awakening, the show where we go straight to the source. Each episode, we sit down with the creators behind New Reality TV to cut through the noise and get clear on three things: what they're putting into the world, why it actually matters right now, and how it connects to the bigger shifts happening in human consciousness. These are focused, no-fluff conversations, not origin myths, not guru speak, just real people doing meaningful work and the ideas behind it. If you're curious about where consciousness, culture, and personal responsibility intersect, you are in the right place. Today, we've got the pleasure of speaking with Amy Sikarskie, who is the producer, host, the originator, the creator of Spirit and Soul Healing on New Reality TV. Amy is sitting here with me in the studio, but before we talk to her, I'd like to give you this quick taste of what her show is all about.
Beyond time and space lies the truth of your soul. A remembrance, ancient, powerful, and wise, waiting to awaken. In the stillness between breaths, you're called back to your essence, to the wisdom of lifetimes, to the energy that heals, to the light that was never lost. This is where healing begins, where messages from Spirit meet the knowing within you, where energy awakens and your journey of soul transformation unfolds. It's really important for you from this reality. You're like, I want to live to be 100. I mean, there's like, you're just showing you want to live to be an elder in the fullness of life. And they're saying, well, you're missing out on it. They're talking to you. They're like, well, that is a possibility. You have had these other experiences. And if you want to come from out of this dimension into the fullness of your soul connection, to go back into the soul light, you'll be able to then experience those. And I just kind of see you thinking about it. You're like, I don't know, maybe. I'm wondering how you're feeling about this now, like the emotions or thoughts that are coming.
I could understand when you were talking about the astral travel, because I felt as though I was taking flight and I had wings and I was a bird, and I could actually see through the ripples of time. Then I felt the pull to come back into that lifetime. And I feel myself pacing back and forth and just looking and still pondering and wondering, how did this happen? How was I betrayed? How am I not living this life to the fullest and to its completion? I can understand and I can feel that sense of being robbed and that anger.
And we've got a lot to talk about because there's a lot behind you and your show, Amy. Welcome to this New Reality Awakening.
Thanks for having me, Will. I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. I think I want to just dive right into it, if you don't mind. Spirit and soul healing really doesn't give a lot of information to folks who are cruising on the platform because there's so much behind it, right? It's like looking at the top of the iceberg when most of it's in the bottom of the iceberg. So give us a quick rundown of all the things that you cover on spirit and soul healing.
Yes. So you're absolutely correct. There is so much to the work that I offer. Season 1 is focusing on channeling. And so forms of channeling, I offer different channeling demonstrations and have guests on. And we talk about connecting in with spirit or your soul light. It's about everything about channeling, the mechanics of it, and the source of information.
Mm-hmm.
And so season 2 goes a little bit deeper in such a fun way. Season 2 is highlighting energy therapy or energy healing sessions, and they're all accessed through channeled information. So it's channeled consciousness put into form of words and language. And then also in those sessions, we channel healing frequencies. And so it's kind of nice because it's a full behind the scenes season of the work that I offer.
Oh, that's super interesting. But can you share with us what makes you uniquely qualified to share these segments, these pieces of content?
Yeah. Well, I think, okay, so we'll just skip forward. I've had about 2 decades of offering healing work. I've had multiple past life sessions of my own and seen where I've done this. I have a memory of other lifetimes, especially working with DNA. So it turns out that in the sessions, in season 2, there's been a lot of traveling to different lifetimes and then also working with ancestral DNA. So a lot of my clients were working to kind of heal those quiet little subconscious things that hold us back, the thoughts or even the emotions behind experiences in life. And when I channel, so in one-on-one sessions, I don't ask any questions, and I also didn't in the episodes. And it's amazing to see the message that spirit brings and how my guests can connect with that information and then go through the whole process and see all the different lifetimes that are influencing the current reality. And then at the end, it's like a nice little bow. They tie a nice little bow and bring us right back to the main theme and topic. In every episode, it's been profound, deep healing. So my qualifications are that I'm a channeler. That's what I do. I work with healing energy and I talk with teams in spirit. So archangels, spirit guides, spirit animals, and it's like clairvoyant and through telepathy is where I get my information.
Wow. So many things to unpack there. Let's start with I do want to talk about your channeling. I also want to talk about the fact that you remember your past lives. We're going to talk about that in a second. But okay, how did it come across? Like, how did you find out that? Like you woke up one day and you went, oh my God, I'm a channeler?
No. No. I had a big awakening in high school.
In high school?
It started.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 17, I think. So my life was falling apart. I'm the oldest of 5. My parents were divorcing. I'm driving in my car back before GPS. I just put this prayer up to the universe, totally not like a prayer dedicated to the religion I was brought up in, just like I need help, who's ever out there.
Right.
And I just started following this internal guidance system, and I ended up at a crystal shop I didn't even know about, and that was my introduction to Reiki. So a few years after that, I started training in Reiki when I was 21. So I'm going to age myself. That was a 2001. So back in the day, 2 decades ago, I started with it. And through that process, I had to deconstruct a lot of my religious upbringing and then, the energy work and the meditations. And then I hit a deepening in the year 2011, 2012, when I went back into deeper trainings with other modalities, earth-based healing and crystals. And I started having flashes. I was having spontaneous visions, and I didn't understand fully what it was about. So I then had past life hypnosis sessions that I signed up for. After that, I trained as a past life hypnotherapist. So I've probably had dozens of past life regressions of my own. But they first started in healing sessions where the visions would come in.
So is that how you remember your past lives, is by doing these regressions?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, it was pretty profound.
All right. We've heard a lot about the power of those things. So, well, let's get back to your show for a second, because I'm curious. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Obviously, we don't have to share the obvious, but in your estimation, why is it so important? Why is your show so important for the world right now, not 5 years from now, not 5 years ago? Why today?
Yeah, the goal, and I think the overall frequency is peace and inner alignment, and it's really bringing us back home. And I know in my life, that's the most important thing. If everything outside of me is spinning, or I feel like there's a tornado, I just want to be in the center, steady, strong, and know, what is my frequency to navigate. And so all of the messages in season 1, they'll have a frequency that leans towards that. And then season 2 deepens into ways that we can be influenced by other energies and patterns and programming. And so the world outside of us right now is so active with that the clearer we can become within our own being, it will help us to kind of silence that noise. And we're not saying, we don't have to ignore it, but just get a handle on things so we feel really grounded within our experiences. And it brings the power, like that internal energetic authority and sovereignty back to us. So all of my work is focused on that sovereignty so that we can find peace and navigate through this reality.
Right. And so you're not telling people that they have to follow a particular path. It's all about providing them the power to follow their own and empowering themselves so that they don't have to rely on a guru or something like that.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. Is there anybody that the show would not be appropriate for, in your estimation?
I think it could push some belief systems if you don't believe in past lives, definitely. Or if you don't believe that we can access other realities through spiritual, ways of, just meditation and communicating with the other realms, that would cause a little problem.
Right. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are there any assumptions that your show quietly challenges?
Authority.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I grew up in this life, really strict religion that, was like patriarch. So women didn't have the ability.
Right.
And then looking at other lifetimes and through history that say, all of the thoughts and stigma, like everything around having to go through another being to connect to your soul, to connect to source and God. So it really brings the power back. And you hit it right on the head when you said, the guru aspect. I don't want that for myself as somebody having people look to me as a guru, and I don't want to look to other people. I feel like we're all on an even playing field. Let's, as friends, help each other and find the path that's right for us individually. So authority is a big one in the spiritual space. And so the freedom to be able to feel expansive and to speak our truth, those are really big topics, especially for those who are stepping into their healing gifts. So energy work and readings, and, they're clearing some of that family and ancestral trauma that would hold them back.
Right.
So.
And so does the show, I'm asking for the audience because I already know the answer to this, but does your show, is it really you speaking to the audience, or do you bring people in and help them through their challenges, or what's the format of your show so someone can tune in and they know what to expect?
Yeah, season 2, I'm so excited about. So it's a behind the scenes where I'm offering energy healing reading sessions to guests that come on. It's unscripted, it's all authentic, it's how we go in session. And so you get to sit in with us as I'm channeling the information, and you'll get to hear what Spirit is sharing for our guests. And then you get to hear their feedback, which is my favorite part, to see how it lands. In episode 1, a lot of them take us on a few little twists and turns, and it's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
But episode 1 got me. I was like, wow.
And now episode 1 of season 2, you mean, yeah?
Episode 1 of season 2, right. Yes, with Rebecca, our guest. That was a really powerful session. And she's been able to heal a lot of the feelings she's had in this life, not knowing where they came from.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of things that like kind of make up our personality, or that we're pushing through and against. And it's like, why do I feel this way? So you get to come and feel the intricacies of the emotions, and then to see in a structured way, like the network of how it played out, how this life was influenced by this one, and then that one influenced this one. So it's quite amazing.
Cool.
And that's season 1, or sorry,
Season 2,
2.
which is
Season 2.
which is just about to launch, right? You're just a couple of ways from launching by the time of this recording. It might actually be out by the time it comes out. But if it doesn't, for the audience, if you go to newrealitytv.com and you don't see that episode yet, just stay tuned. It's going to be here any second. I'm sure it'll be out by the time this comes out, but just in case. So do you feel your show is more of a bingeable thing, or can someone just pick up in the middle of the season and not be lost?
You can pick up in the middle of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't go one to the next. But I will share that season 2, I decided to release all the episodes in the way that they were filmed. When you see, guest number 1, yes, that in real life, real time was guest number 1. I didn't mix it up. Season 1, likewise, you can drop into any episode at any time and get some inspiration and knowledge. Season 1 is a lot about educating on channeling. So through me teaching and then also demonstrating and having guests on that do the different channeling modalities.
And do you think that will someone be able to channel by watching your show, or is this more of just an awareness?
No. Yeah, it's an awareness. It's laying the foundations and giving them the tools to then go deeper. So if anybody's looking to channel, there's a few things that are important at the beginning. So energetic cleansing and activating strengthening your energy field and your chakras, and having a lot of spiritual discernment. And I always recommend working with a mentor. So I would say at a minimum, you want to read and study and then take a class and practice. So you won't get that off of one episode, but you'll get resources, and then you'll hear a lot of, you'll learn a lot through osmosis, I guess. Just by tuning in, you'll start to understand. And then when you go to practice channeling on yourself, you'll have some real world experiences that can influence or support you in your flow.
Wonderful. Okay. Amy, was there a part of this work that challenged you?
Yeah, man. Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, even starting with Reiki back in the day, that was a challenge. That was a challenge with my community and religion that I eventually ended up leaving. That's probably why they didn't want me diving in to find who I am on my own,
Right.
But then later on, when I started channeling in the way it's called physical channeling, and that's when I let the Council of Light come through, my voice changes. And that isn't for everybody. And some people, even in this world, they push back against
Sure.
it. I lost friends and stuff because of it. And I was like, well, I mean, that's crazy, but okay, that's your path. I mean, you know who I am. I don't change. It's my personality. And I'm very conscious and very aware of the whole process when I'm channeling the Council of Light. And when they come through, it's so nice because the receiving participants can feel the energy stronger. And relay channeling is when I get a message and then I share it. So it takes double the time.
Uh-huh.
If they can just speak through, it goes so much more
Right.
efficient
Right.
and it's concise.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I did get a lot of pushback for
But
channeling.
when you first started doing that, though, was it scary at all? Did it feel weird? I think it might kind of be a little unnerving.
It can be. Well, what happened is I was already starting to spontaneously have the communications and the visions and the connections and knowing who my guides are through the energy healing sessions. My first reading I did, I wasn't trained. I just had a client say, "Oh, I had this experience. Can you tune in?" I was like, I've never officially done this. I didn't take a class. But I said, well, let me see. And all the information came in. And he didn't give me any background, just a couple questions. So I was like, well, I guess I can do this. So when I learned about physical channeling, I had a friend introduce it to me. I'd never heard the modality. And at that point, I've been working full time in energy work and other forms of readings, probably 7 years. So my energy was ready for it. I could hold the frequency. And then it just was I took some classes and mentoring. And I think it was probably over a 3-week period of time where I got it down.
Oh.
But at the beginning, it was slower. It was slower, and they were getting used to using my voice.
Right.
So
But 3 weeks is not a
cadence
long
is
time,
different.
though. That seems pretty quick.
No, it was fast considering all things, but like I'd been preparing, not knowing, but I'd been preparing because I was already channeling. I was already going into past lives. So I can expand my aura quite a bit, and I can regulate my chakras, and you need to do all of that for the physical channeling. So I already had all the tools to do it. I just like the ingredients. I just hadn't put it together yet. And so I got some of my questions answered. It's because, like you mentioned, you can't, it's not advisable just to jump in.
Right.
So I had all of my questions answered, and I already had taken about 3 different classes up until that point. So then it was a process of gradually taking a breath, letting them come in, letting them start putting air through my vocal cords. And when I do channel the Council of Light, the accent's different. You can tell, people can tell it's
Wow.
not me.
All right, so
Yeah.
Amy, something that's really blown me away. Your background comes from you from a religious background, and yet you allowed yourself to open up to some strange entity. You would have thought that someone with your background might have gone, I'm not really sure about this.
Yeah. I mean, well, I had to jump over that hurdle once I started to understand the concept of starseeds, because the Council of Light are beings from other star systems and galaxies. So, I mean, once I learned about, we have spirit guides and there's starseeds and there's reincarnation, like none of those topics were allowed in my religion.
Right.
So it's kind of like once you break through one thing, you feel, okay, and the next and the next. And I think it was all through curiosity and trusting what felt right to me, what felt right in my heart.
Well, I tip my hat at your courage, because I don't know if I was of your religious background, I would have been able to just open myself up. With the thought of demonic possessions and things like that just kind of crosses through my mind, all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's why it's so nice. I have a strong support team, always checking, throughout the whole, when I was training, like, check my work. Do you feel like, and I'll talk about this. I have a book called Messages from the Councils. It's the first one I released, and they bring in the concept of a gatekeeper. So I have a gatekeeper.
Oh.
So these are our bodyguards, protectors in spirit world. I feel very protected, and I work with the Archangels, and I only channel the Council of Light in that way because we've developed a relationship, and their messages have proven to be accurate and of love. So there's a lot of things that we look for when we channel and make those connections.
Okay. Well, what's the biggest misconception people tend to have about you or your work?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I had a lot of questions around channeling, that I wouldn't be in control, that I let an entity take over. It's not the case. I'm completely here.
Okay.
I'm just sitting right here listening, and it's so fun to hear the conversation. So I think that it's that I'm letting something else run my life, and it's like the furthest from the truth that there ever could be. I push back. I have tons of questions, and I really make sure I'm comfortable with the situation. So I think that might be part of it. And if I go back to the beginning when I was sharing, not wanting to be in a conformed environment, so wanting to really have freedom and to not be controlled, it would be quite the weird thing then if I would find a being or a group of beings that would then take over. So it's not like that at all. I'm very present, and I'm very present in the human world too.
Gotcha.
But
So it's not like you're a passenger. You can't control the car. You're actually there. You can take over the wheel anytime.
that's such a good way of saying it. You're so good. Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's talk about the world right now. Where do you think people are genuinely confused in their awakening or their spiritual growth?
Probably some mixed messaging, I think, because everybody has their own path. So if you're finding somebody who's found the path that works for them, but they might say this is the only path, just as religion can be, then it can be confusing if it's not a path that works for you. And so also if there's a practitioner, that just says, my way's the only way, don't even look over there. So I think the mixed messaging, and again, taking people's power from them. So I love to just be open and curious and meet people where they are and see what their path might
Right.
be for them. So it's that mixed messaging, and then also it's the idea, which when I go back, this is like years ago that I saw this because I was there. We all are in these places. It's like wondering, oh, this crystal can fix this, or gonna go see like 5 sessions and gonna be magically healed. I think one of the things is not taking ownership in our healing, and really that self-reflection. So at the beginning there would be things come up, and like friendships or whatever that maybe I wondered if I should maintain, or they just weren't going so good. So I would ask Spirit, is there a lesson in here for me? Did we have a contract? Is there karma? And if I get a yes, then, then we stay in that relationship and work through it and all of this. But if I get a no, I'm like, okay, thank you. See you later. So it's all about like just knowing what's right for us. And then I would say using the tools that work for you individually, because there's a lot of different pathways, a lot of forms. Like some people love astrology, and I think that's fascinating, but I'm not well versed in astrology.
Right. So is there anything that you feel is oversold or overtaught in the spiritual space you think needs to be corrected?
Oh gosh. Honestly, over the years, I've kind of got off of consuming social media, and I just share the channel messages that come through me. So I haven't really been privy to too much of that. But if I could, what are they saying? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so the big thing now, this might be controversial.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, the food that we eat, and going so far to it has to be healthy and all this food is bad for you. Like actually one of the things that I've been getting in messages lately is your connection to the food. So it goes back to the spiritual truth of prayer and consciousness and blessing and being grateful for your food and water. So they are saying that's the most important thing, and that yes, you want clean, healthy food, but if you don't have access to it, then it instills fear and a feeling of defeat. So if you are being bombarded by posts that are talking so much, like just divisive energy around our food, they're saying, okay, just reel it back and take a breath and pray over your food and do the best that you can do. So that's the message from the team right now.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a great message, huh? Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the show here, but I wanted to ask for sure, what is one simple practice, mindset shift, or question you think more people should sit with?
Well, the thing that's helped me the most, so I'm an empath, and I feel like probably a lot of our audience are empaths and very sensitive. It took me a long time to understand that. And so the trick is when you feel all of a sudden kind of in a bad mood or frustrated, or just your energy feels, ask yourself, like, what am I feeling? And then is it mine? And that's the biggest thing, because the second you realize it's not mine, you can take a deep breath and fill with light and then just blow it away. Say, okay, bye-bye. I think, that has been for me, the biggest thing is to understand, what am I tuning into? And is it actually accurate for my own frequency, like my own soul path? Yes or no? And just, if it's not for me, just let it go. So I think if we can do that, it will help us. There is a little bit of the deconstruction of programming that will come along with that at the beginning of the awakening. So if you have a family that's really deep in culture or religion or just the nuances, or if they always say, well, your grandfather did that, so you will too, and it's not a healthy trait, those are the things you might need to go deeper with and releasing. But the more of your own soul frequency you bring in, you can totally rechange everything. And like, just study epigenetics. I mean, this is all spiritual stuff, but science can prove it.
Yeah. Well, you just answered my last question, which was one grounded takeaway that the audience can take away. But you just answered that question beautifully. So, Amy, thank you so much for being on the show. If someone wanted to reach out to you to learn more about you, what's the best way for someone to do that?
Through my website, amysikarskie.com, and there you can find all my offerings, the show. I have a podcast and books and classes. So, or you can put a session through or send me an email. So that would be the way. And yeah, I'd be really excited and happy to meet everybody. Oh, and we have a nice feature here at New Reality. You can leave a comment.
What?
Leave a comment under the episode. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. So Amy's show, Spirit and Soul Healing, for sure. Go to newrealitytv.com. You'll find her show there. And please, Amy would love to hear from you when you watch the show. So Amy, thanks so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you guys all love season 2 and that you're thoroughly loving New Reality TV.
Absolutely. Now, that's the kind of work that we like to spotlight here, not because it has all the answers, but because it asks better questions and invites real engagement. If this conversation sparks something for you, you can explore more of Amy's show on New Reality TV, along with 40 plus other shows there that will help you in your spiritual journey. And if you're someone who's curious about consciousness, growth, and where personal responsibility actually meets spiritual exploration, this is what we do here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on New Reality Awakening.